much more severe. You actually you exacerbate the situation. In my opinion, this is not the way to have dealt with it. I feel that they could have just laid siege to it. And there are a lot of questions unanswered. Why were guns allowed to move in there? Why was food going in there? Why was all this arsenal allowed inside?
Let's get on to the issue of the politics right now. And Imran, you were in London at the All Parties Conference trying to find some sort of consensus, political consensus with people like Benazir Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif, whom you'd heavily criticised, harshly criticised in the past, trying to find some kind of opposition. What came of that? Because the news is that really you didn't reach much consensus.
Well, Riz, the problem Pakistan faces right now is we have a military dictator there. He's getting unpopular by the day. Just one of the callers said something about writ of the state. How can there be writ of the state in a country where the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, first the dictator forces him to resign. When he doesn't, he's house arrested, manhandled. Where is the writ of the state there? Where is the writ of the state when people are abducted by the state and missing persons? We don't know where they are, and their wives and children sit outside trying to ask where their loved ones have disappeared. So there is a big problem with dictatorship. There is no rule of law right now. And so what we need in Pakistan is a genuine democratic system. That is the only answer to Pakistan's problems, and actually it is also the way to deal with extremism in a society. And this is what this whole conference was about, to develop a consensus amongst all the political parties to set a roadmap for democracy.
You don't have that roadmap, though, what I gather from the feedback.
Actually, there were resolutions. A lot of them, there was a consensus. For instance, number one, there can be no free and fair elections under General Musharraf. This was, all the political parties agreed to it. Number two, that if General Musharraf tried to have himself reimposed through the same assemblies, then all of us would consider resignations. So there was consensus on that. Methodology differed between one or two parties. Now what is needed is actually an action plan, and that's where we are meeting tomorrow to decide what are the steps we are going to take to achieve this roadmap.
Let's bring in James from Kenya, who's been waiting patiently with a question or comment. James, what would you like to ask?
My question is that the outcome of the situation, would this affect in the upcoming election, or would this help him or hurt him?
How do you think, Imran, this outcome of the Lal Masjid will actually have an impact on General Musharraf's standing?
I think it would have lowered his credibility even more in Pakistan. In any case, there was a series of crises he's stuck in. The biggest crisis he faces, of course, is the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice, the whole country has rallied behind him, especially the lawyer community. The lawyers are standing firmly behind the Chief Justice. And actually, wherever the Chief Justice goes, the people go out to greet him. There's a complete in Pakistan consensus that the Chief Justice was removed because the general was scared that the judiciary was moving towards its independence. So, you know, he's already under a lot of pressure. And when the elections come, you will find that despite heavy rigging, he's going to find it very difficult to get his own party re-elected through a popular vote.
Imran, we've got about a minute or a minute and a half or so. I just want to ask you about your situation with the MQM and the action you've been trying to take against Altaf Hussain, the leader in exile there in London. What's been the outcome with that struggle for you?
Well, the reason I've had to come to London to get justice is because there is no question of getting justice in Pakistan against Altaf Hussain and the MQM, because you know, just now we heard about the writ of the state. Well, there is no writ of the state as far as Karachi is concerned. It is completely controlled by the MQM. And MQM has a terrorist wing which controls Karachi. And on 12th May, the terrorist wing, in trying to sabotage the rally of the Chief Justice, fired into people, killed about 50 people died, 200 got bullet wounds. And that's when I decided that I would come to London to try and get justice, because Altaf Hussain is a British citizen. He was given citizenship in '99, lives in London, And I'm going to try, and we are trying through our lawyers, and we feel we will succeed in getting justice.
We have very little time, but let's see if we can get Farman in from Cyprus with a quick question. Farman.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please. We don't have much time.
Okay. I want to ask him, because according to Islam, nobody has any right to challenge your government unless your government is not Islamic. So your government is Islamic. You can't challenge your government.
Imran,
so what I believe that...
All right, a very quick comment. Farman, sorry, we're just almost out of time, so a quick comment from Imran on that.
But no one disputes that. We actually do want rule of law in Pakistan. That's why everyone is standing behind the Chief Justice, because only an independent judicial system brings rule of law in a country. And the biggest violator of law in Pakistan today is the military dictator. He's violated the constitution, the rule of law, everything. Now, there is no dispute about that. There is no dispute that the cleric in Lal Masjid was wrong. I mean, there's consensus. Even the religious parties have condemned the actions of the cleric. Where we disagree is the method used to storm the mosque where there were women and children. I mean, what is this nonsense? Can you allow your army to attack a mosque? Is that the only way of having dealt with the situation? That's where the disagreement is.
Imran, well, we thank you for joining us. We're out of time, but look forward to talking with you again soon, and see you next time soon.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us. On the next show, we talk with an American former diplomat who spent at least the last few years looking at how early Muslim advancements in science and culture lay the cornerstones of the European Renaissance, the Enlightenment, and modern Western society. Don't forget, if you have any thoughts about that or pressing issues, send your emails to riz@aljazeera.net. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned for Street Talk.